You know, when you said before riffraff, I've met people here, so you don't know. It's better than, well, whatever. But
no, everything has its good qualities and bad qualities. It's not like, you know, there is some great qualities here, like. So but you have to stretch to look for it. No, not really. Here's the ocean, right?
Yeah.
You know,
that's.
But back in the day, this was probably this was hopping back in the 30s, right?
Well, back in the turn of the century.
Yeah, right. Oh. This is where it was at.
Oh.
Right?
But they didn't have
back
the heart. They didn't have the heart and soul to continue it. They got too into then building middle-class homes.
Oh yeah.
After they went through the turn of the century and they were having fun, then they got, you know, after the war, they all had to buy homes.
That's interesting you said to say that, because that's actually probably the demise. Suburbia is probably the demise of community.
It's amazing how everybody's going to think you're somebody because you got this and that. It becomes something. But there's gonna be somebody, if you keep walking around this world, who's gonna say to you, "The fuck are you doing?" Right?
Well, what crosses their minds without speaking? Like that woman and that guy who just passed us on the bike. What sort of like rambling mind thoughts came across? Like that would be interesting. If we could tape something to someone's brain and find out the thoughts that go on.
More unlike you.
Is it first it's questioning, then it's violence, then it could be like sort of intriguing.
The more you are something they don't understand, the more they want to swat it like a fly.
Oh really?
Because if you don't know what it is, it could be an intrusion.
Well, it's strange.
So it's better to kill it.
What does that mean, stranger? Stranger, like.
Strange or a stranger?
Stranger.
Well, stranger's somebody you don't know.
But isn't that an interesting word for someone you don't know? Stranger? Is that like?
Well, that word. I mean, I don't know the origins.
Is it related to strange or something that we don't understand? Yeah, stranger. Like is this guy a stranger walking down here? Is that like that is a stranger, right?
Or I've always liked when people said, "You're strange."
Yeah, strange is different. Yeah, strange is. Stranger, well actually the stranger is something you don't know, and then you come to know them and you think, then it becomes just strange possibly.
Well,
or normal to you.
You can get away with stopping somebody here and I could say you're somebody and we're interviewing them and ask them a question how they feel about the circus coming to town.
Yeah, you're right, look at Medford. Green shoes.
You could say,
I gotta clean them too.
I could say that you do demographic studies for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and you want to know how the people,
why, if they're still into it, like,
if they're interested,
especially with the elephants chained up and everything.
Because once you put it in that context, then it would be totally acceptable. Oh, this guy's from the circus.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, exactly right.
Now he's cool.
Hey, you want to head over the dunes?
Yeah,
onto the beach.
There's an easier one to go over. But the problem is, if you're someplace and they don't know what you are.
Well, you know what's great? The more and more we have these discussions, and actually when I edit them and I hear them over, I become more and more liberated to the point where I don't even care. Like, I just want to be who I want to be. Like, whether it looks good or doesn't look good, or whether people think it's strange or not strange. Let me tell you, I just want to be myself.
We've gone way beyond.
And even if like I try something that doesn't work, I could try something else, you know. But it's always trying to become your true self that we talked about. Like,
we could have a lot of fun.
She was like this. What?
Well, I passed you. I passed you in the car. You know what you look like? The scene from The Wizard of the Oz when the bad witch was on a broom and she was up in the air and she had a top hat on. You look like you were riding on air.
A witch hat, like.
You look like no. Then
right.
Don't put a point on it. But I think and we talked about masks before, and I think what's missing from, like, say, this kind of suburban culture we speak about is any soulful expression or theatrics. Yeah, right. And people want the theatrics to see it where people go beyond the norm because it helps liberate them. Right. So, you know.
That's a good point, actually. Actually, suburbia is sort of toxic in a way because it actually drowns out. And even though I would have to say probably most people would like to express themselves, would you say that most people are actually capable of expressing themselves in some far out fashion, but suburban culture sort of like doesn't allow it?
I think
that's why they look, they look like, do they look at Medford in his hat and say, I'd like to do that.
Listen. If you could tap in,
or is it just a small percentage? You think most people can do it?
I'll answer it. If you tap into people's childhoods, or their essence, let's say, where the pain is and where the program is. See already, you can't, it's amazing.
This is a great place for that, actually, to sort of like get interviews and sort of bring people out of themselves.
Yeah.
Because really, most people who walk here, if you look at them, they're like lost in their
I met 2 Russian girls here. There's 2
miserableness.
Russian girls here that I walk with.
But most of them are like
they're
lost.
This is like them.
Yeah, right. Why am I here? This sucks. Like, really? But I'm trying to stay
if you
healthy,
walked around like this down here, it's like the total loss, like body language.
That's what I mean. Right? Yeah. Right.
What the?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that is the case, actually, though. That they're like sort of like.
Right, see, you smile. I just want you to look, and you went like this. Cool.
That's good.
This is great.
But that's interesting. Cuckoo is sort of something that is out of the norm.
Oh, he's cuckoo.
Yeah, right. Cuckoo.
My mother used to use that.
I'd like to get on the beach, though.
We will. There's a passage over.
They don't have like.
This is going to become very hard for me to resist people's reaction. It's going to be really hard.
Oh, no. That guy's dangerous, man. He's probably on meds.
He reminds me of Butch.
If you had said something, he would have pounded me. Like, my hat would have been flattened, like.
The shit out of you.
Yeah, right. You're right.
I think Medford has flicked a switch again to a further level now. I think he tapped into something.
Thank you for tuning in to the Medford and the Master Show, and stay tuned for part 2. Everything has its good qualities and bad qualities. It's not like, there is some great qualities here, like. So, but you have to stretch to look for it. No, not really. Here's the ocean, right?
But I think we talked about masks before, and I think what's missing from, like, say, this kind of suburban culture we speak about is any soulful expression or theatrics.
I just want to be who I want to be, whether it looks good or doesn't look good, or whether people think it's strange or not strange.
Let me tell you,
I just want to be myself.